Hello, everyone. This is the John Lee Real Estate Podcast. I'm here with some really good friends, also real estate agents. And I wanted to make this segment a bit more unique and a little bit more about the lifestyle of being a real estate agent and also the day to day of our job. So, I have here Mike and Mina. We
Hello.
actually met through a Tom Ferry event. It was actually hosted in Philadelphia, but then we actually continued to stay in contact. There was obviously some level of accountability that we still have with each other even now. So just wanted to share everyone the journey of a real estate agent. So I thought that it would be nice to share their experiences as well as mine. So, Mina, if you want to start off and kind of introduce yourself and then take it from there.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Mina, and I live in North Jersey, and I'm part of Real Broker. Well, where do I start? Okay, I guess I'll start when I got my license. I got my license in 2018. Well, actually, no, 2017, but I didn't really do anything with it. I was doing, just rental deals here and there. And I was working for a dermatologist at the time. But, my best friend, who's still my best friend, she got a new job as an operational manager at a real estate company. And she was like, hey, you should get into real estate. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, I didn't want to do sales. And she's like, it feels more like hospitality. So I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. I knew I like working at a dermatology office wasn't really a career, right? So I needed to find a career. So I was like, all right, let me take a shot. And long story short, did my school. My first showing, I showed like this $4,000 rental in Jersey City, and the clients that I were working, I showed them one place, and they're like, all right, we'll take it. And I was like, that was it. So after that, I'm like, this is easy. And obviously, I was wrong. It's not easy, but that's how I was hooked because I was like, oh, I can make easy like money that quickly. I was like, let's do it. So, when I first started, I just started doing rental deals. I was 26 years old and I was kind of scared to get into sales. So, I was like, let me just do some rentals and see how it goes. And that kind of just built up. I worked with a bunch of renters. And then I kind of built the confidence to get into sales. And once I got into sales, it was pretty challenging at first. But then COVID came. And then when COVID came, all those renters that I helped, which were a lot of renters, they all were like, hey, we want to buy. So 2020, I think, when COVID happened, I sold 8 houses and I was like, oh my God. I was like, how do I do that again? Because I had no idea how I did that, to be honest with you. And then I got into coaching, and that's how I met you guys. So since coaching, obviously my career has grown a lot. And I met you guys. I'm in a fantastic group, company, and yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, Mina, just before Mike goes, what was your degree? I don't even know.
Oh, I have a psych and music degree.
Oh, you play music?
I'm a voice major. Yes,
Oh, what the hell? Okay.
I know. Yeah, very
All right.
shocking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Cool.
Take it away.
All right. So my story, slightly different. I took the traditional route out of high school, went to college for nursing. I've been a registered nurse since 2012. And when I first started off, I just wanted to be an RN. I was really passionate about it. But I think 5 years into it, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. There was just things about working in the corporate world where I wasn't like crazy about. And then in 2016, I discovered the podcast, Bigger Pockets. And that podcast honestly changed my life, my mindset, everything, because then I started discovering like entrepreneurship and all that stuff. I discovered Jim Rohn and then
Mhm.
got into the personal development space. And as I was working as a nurse, I was like, okay, I don't want to be a realtor, but I do want to start investing in properties. So 2018, I was looking at multiple properties to buy. It was during the time when I first discovered like everything about real estate. My credit was shot. I had no savings. So then once I got into the personal development space, I started saving up money. In 2018, I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a property. And then as I was working with realtors, I was like, these guys, they were like so pushy. They were trying to tell me to buy in the hood of like Jersey. And I was like, I don't know, this doesn't feel right. So after just like working with realtors for almost like 6 months, I was like, you know what? Let me put this on pause. And on the podcast for real estate, for bigger pockets, they're like, if you get your real estate license, you could represent yourself as an investor and also as a realtor. So I was like, that was intriguing. I was like, well, if I don't sell any single home selling real estate, at least I could represent myself on the sale. And to me, that was already enticing enough to get my real estate license. So fast forward to 2019, I got my license and I just started looking for properties on my own. And during the process, people started coming up to me because I was a real estate agent. They're like, hey, man, you got your real estate license. I'm looking for a home. And it's like started catapulting from there. From there, people reached out to me to help them buy homes. I closed one home and then I started like leveraging social media a lot.
Hmm.
Started just posting pictures of just sold, under contract, and more people were reaching out, and I was like, whoa. And then after I saw my first commission check as a realtor, I was like, oh my God, it takes me like 8 weeks as a nurse to make this kind of money. And nursing is tough. Like right now, the nurses are striking in New York City. They're like 2 weeks or like 18 days without pay. And I was like, I I knew things were going to get worse for nurses because of like where the direction healthcare is going, and the whole like it's just such a business now. And I felt that when I was a nurse. And yeah, it's fast forward 2023. I quit being a registered nurse. During the process, I was doing dual career from 2019 to 2023. I was selling real estate and working full time, so I was putting in 100 hours a week of just both jobs.
Crazy.
I had no life. It
That's
was it
wild.
was it was it was tough, but I was making just as much as my nursing salary. Or and then in 2022, I like doubled it, and I was like, wait a second. I listened to this podcast from Gary Vee, and he's like, if your side job is making more than your main hustle, it's time to quit your career. So I quit my nursing job. And since then, like I did have some like hurdles. I got into coaching in 2023. And since then, like my business has really done really well. I did struggle a little bit in 2014 or 2025 when I got my like one of my tax returns. I was like, I owed like 60 grand. And I was
Oh.
like, holy shit. I was like, damn, there's a lot. I wasn't ready for that. So, but
Mm.
like with everything in business, like, you go up, you have your dips. And then now I'm in the process where like I'm super diligent about like my P&L sheet. I already put like 20 grand into like paying my taxes. I have this other bank account for 2025 taxes. So you learn throughout the process, and you start picking up things where you could save money responsibly from the IRS. So yeah, it's just been a journey. Now I started a team last year. Right now it's three of us on the team. I'm a full-time assistant, and since I started my real estate journey, we sold 120 homes already. So it's been a fun journey, and just I quit nursing, and yeah, that's my story.
That's awesome, man. So, briefly, I'm sure a lot of the people, the guests, have an idea of how I got into real estate, but similar to you, Mike, I started in 2018, using the license to buy my own investment properties, just the same way as you did.
Yeah,
Especially in Philadelphia, we have way lower price points. Like nobody wants to show a 40, 50, $60,000 house. So that was my barrier that I had to cross. And it came to a certain point where I just said like, fuck it. I'm just gonna get my real estate license. So that's what I did. And same thing as you, Mike, like I started posting on social media, and that like gathered a lot of attention. A lot of people like the before and afters on flips, like rental rehabs. So then that really elevated my career. So then I was going from part-time to eventually I was just like, all right, well, just like you guys, I made the investment into coaching, right? And then that's when I went full-time. And yeah, that's my story. So what, almost 7, 8 years in. But I would say 4 of those years have been, yeah, about 4 of those years have been full time. But yeah, for you guys, like, what's your day to day look like? I mean, the I've had this conversation with several realtors before, and I think a lot of people have a certain perception because there are so many shows out, right? Like Selling Sunset. I mean, you're laughing, right? But like, there's so many shows like that where it's like, here's a $50 million house, and look at the commission check on this. It's $100,000, right? Like, but like in reality, what do we do? What do you guys do every single day, that like is what either is behind the scenes or what other people actually don't know or understand?
A lot of conversations, like a lot. I think I talk to anywhere from like on an easy days, like 20 people, I would say, whether that's on Instagram, my past clients, my friends, right? I like to think of real estate as like a contact sport, right? The more people that you reach out, the more people you connect with, the more you're growing your network, right? And I think the one thing that I do a really good job, which helped my success, is it's building relationships. I think once I really got that real estate is not just about selling, but it's about building relationships and building your network. It just clicked for me. So I think, every single day, the one thing that people don't want to do is prospect, but us having coaches, we are forced to prospect. So I think, obviously I have a very strict, not strict, but I have a very structured schedule. Me and Mike, we go to the gym in the mornings. We make sure we do I make sure I do my my affirmations, to make sure my mental health is really clear for the day. Because again, talking to people, we all know it's pretty draining. So, in order for me to be at my best shape and to, deal with other people, I think mental health is really important. So I focus on that in the mornings. And then obviously I go into prospecting and I'm just coming back from an appointment. So, after I prospect, I usually go on my appointments, whether that's in the afternoon or evenings. And then obviously on the weekends, I'm mostly showing. So I think it's really important as a realtor to really stick to a structured schedule because, or else it's going to be very, very difficult. And I think in the beginning of my career, I didn't have that. But once I got a coach and I realized like having a structure schedule is what's really going to keep me going, I think that everything just kind of flowed from then. Right.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
that's kind of what my day looks like.
How about you, Mike?
Very similar to Mina. Every morning I need to work out. Uh,
Yeah.
Mina and I happen
Got to
to
get
go to
the
the same.
rage out.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
also the endorphins to handle like all the things we deal with on real estate because
absolutely.
real estate's a roller coaster. One day you're like on top, the next day deals fall apart, clients want
Yeah.
to cancel stuff. Like
Yeah,
it's a lot. So you need to be emotionally intact,
for
and
sure.
like ready to take on a lot of stuff. So for me, start off at the gym. Mina and I happen to go to the same gym.
Hmm.
Sometimes I do some meditation, some affirmations in the morning. I try to follow the Miracle Morning
Hmm.
and do the savers, which is prayer and all that stuff. So that's my main thing. Once I get that out of the way, I can really take on the day. It's changed from the beginning when I started real estate to now. Before it used to be a lot of like cold calling. What else? Cold calling was my big thing, and then door knocking.
You're knocking. Yeah.
But honestly, it's the past, I guess, 4 years. I just didn't love it, and then I transitioned to just social media in 2025, and I've been enjoying that much more. So what my day is like now is like check emails, check in with my assistant, and then plan for the week. If I have to plan for the week, that usually entails what days am I doing content, what days am I going to record for Instagram. And now with my coach, we're talking about going on YouTube. And he's got me on some accountability thing. If I don't do it, then there's like a little penalty for that. So
Yeah.
weekly YouTube videos, and if I don't do the videos, there's a penalty to it. But it keeps me going, and now it's like it's real. So it's just constant producing content, whether it's something about like my local market or listing videos or now content for YouTube. That's really what we're focused on. And just like Nina, also try to talk to 5 new people a day minimum, whether it's through social media, going to a lot of events, realtor events, community
Hmm.
events. If there's something going on in my neighborhood, I try to interact with people. Naturally, the gyms I go to, I just engage with people because a lot of group trainings and stuff like that. So the gym's also been a big help for me. So talking to people, and I still do enjoy door knocking. So once the weather gets a little warm, we're going to get back into door knocking just because
Hmm.
I truly believe in the power of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah, that's
sure.
awesome. Like there's like a misconception, especially when people think that, well, at least with my friends, sometimes they think that like I don't work or I don't have to work. But I find that like a lot of successful realtors are actually working a lot. Like
Yeah.
you can't just sit there and wait for people to come to you, right? Like even if you're doing social media, there's a lot of work behind that too, like the structure, right? You guys have mentioned, right? Of and the cadence, right, of putting out content. And that in itself is actually a really tough balance. So to kind of add on to that, right, like there's so many things that we as real estate agents juggle, right? The
Yeah.
things that people do see, right, or they see on TV, which is the actual showing the house, right? That's obviously a big part of what we do, but there is paperwork that's involved, right? Whether we do it ourselves or we hire that out, right? There's a cost if we do hire that out, right?
Hmm.
Or if we're posting social media content, like we have to be on there, like our faces need to be on there, so that is like almost another job in itself, right? So yeah, I just think it's kind of funny when we talk about like what we all do to like start our day and continuously what we like to say prospecting. So for some of the real estate agents, especially some of the newer ones, I think this would be a good segue question. Like for you, Mike, right? I know that you went into a phase of doing door knocking, cold calling. I myself did the same thing. I did a lot of experimentation on just like what I think was like kind of my style, what I gravitated towards. For me, I just really leaned in on community and sphere and like
Yeah.
centers of influence, like friends, right? Friends and family.
Yeah.
And for me, it's very hard to like make the difference between like, hey, like business and like personal, because I kind of incorporate both of them together.
Yeah.
I know you guys might have different approaches. I know Mina, you're pretty well. I'm involved in BNI now because of Mina, right? So
Yeah.
Mina definitely influenced me on the BNI aspect. So if you guys want to share a little bit more about your pillars of how you generate business and like where your clients come from. I know Mike, you're also kind of like me with Sphere, right? You lean on heavily on the medical community, right? Like nurses. Obviously, social media is another. So like, tell me a little bit more about your own experiences and your own ways of how you get clients.
To be honest with you, I'm pretty much like I would say 100% referral based. So, I grew up in Jersey since I was 7. So, I have a lot of friends here. I'm Korean. It's a huge in North Jersey. There's a huge Korean network. So I know a lot of people. All the Koreans know each other here. So I think, you know, eh, my biggest source is definitely my sphere of influence. That's how I really was able to get things started. My close friend was the first person that I sold my house to. I mean, sold a house to. And now a lot, I think like last year, 70% of my business came from past clients. So I think I do a really good job, like I said, building relationships. And, most realtors, I would say like 95% of realtors, once you close on a property, you don't talk to your clients ever.
Right.
But to me, I learned that quickly, like once you close is when the real relationship starts. So I think, all my clients that have sold with me or bought with me or have, rented with me, some of the renters are on this thing called Client Giant, which I think last year was the reason why I was able to get a lot of listings. Before last year, I would say 2024, I had some few listings, but it was my first year really like getting into listings because before then I was a heavy buyer's agent. 100% I was on every buyer deal. But 2024, I was able to get a few listings, and then last year I think I had more listings than I had buyer leads,
That's
buyer
awesome.
sales, which was amazing. I loved it. So I think all those leads, they all came from Client Giant. So my clients, they get a gift from me every quarter, and it looks like, I do all the hard work and I package it, but they don't know that it's just a service, right?
Unless they watch this podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
now I
just
just
thinking, I was just thinking that.
so if you're my client, don't watch this. But yeah, my clients, they love it. They get a gift. It's not like anything extravagant, right? But it's a small gift, a small gesture just for me to say thank you. And they eat it up. They love it. And a lot of the times, like they'll get a gift and they'll be like, hey, thank you so much for the gift. By the way, I have a friend that wants to sell something, or I have a friend that wants to buy. So I was able to get a lot of listings that way last year. And again, I have BNI, right? BNI is a networking group. It's called Business Networking International. And it's basically we meet once a week, virtual. There's groups that are, virtual, hybrid. They meet in person. But personally, for me, I think the virtual really worked really well for me. So we meet every week, and there's all small business owners, but there's only one person in each category. So I'm the only realtor. There's only one lender, whatever the group is, there's only one person of it. And our goal each week, there's no other goal but to just help each other grow. And being part of something like that, I have about 18 people in my group. Those 18 people are always looking out for me, and I'm looking out for them. And I think it's a great way for me to really, expand my network. And I've met so many people just from BNI, and there's so many chapters that it's not just my chapter that I'm networking with. I can network with someone in India, in China, anywhere in the country, in the world, actually, because BNI is international. So that BNI has also been a very, very big help to my business.
Mhm.
And I would say, like, again, sphere of influence, past clients, BNI. I think I'm trying to attend, more networking groups because, again, building relationships is something that I am really good at. So that's what I really leaning towards. And of course, my coach is making me do door knocking now because he thinks I'm great in person. So I've done some door knocking last year. I haven't had a huge success yet, but I really am looking to, once the weather gets a little bit warmer, I am looking to really get into door knocking. So those are going to be really and then of course, social media. I got to thank Mike. He's the person that really got me into social media. So thank you, Mike. And he gave me the courage to do my first video. He was in my first video, and my first video hit 40,000 views. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I was so shocked. And since then, I've just been hooked on social media as well. So, yeah, I mean, I just recently did this stupid video in Jersey City and it has over 550,000 views. So, and I was able to connect with so many people because of that video. So, I definitely see the power of social media. So, those
Is
are
it
definitely
the
my.
is it the I'm
The one
looking
with
for a
no
husband?
sync.
Is it the I'm looking for a husband video?
No,
Because
no.
I feel
I
like
had
that
a
would get a lot of
video.
engagement for sure.
No,
Wait, you got
it was a.
over 500,000?
Yeah, it's continuing. It's over half a
Yeah.
million
Holy
right now, and I
shit.
got I got 200 people, like all 200 followers. So obviously, I reached out to all those followers and the conversation. Right, people are from Michigan, like all over the country and world, and I'm connecting with them and letting them know that I'm an agent. And the conversation was so easy because it was like I just started talking about how stupid was my video. Right? Can you believe there's listings like that? And the conversation exploded, and I couldn't believe that a video that I took with my iPhone reached that many views. And I pay a videographer for all my other videos that's never even reached that kind of views, right?
Yeah.
So social media is definitely it's something that all agents really should get into. Yeah.
That's awesome, I thought it was the I'm looking for a husband video. That's why I
No,
thought
the
you were
reason
gonna
why I'm
like
single is that the video you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
I,
No,
I
not that one.
I think a good key to highlight, especially a lot of realtors, they fall out of the game because they're like, oh, I got to do all these fancy edited videos
yeah. It has to
to
be
get
perfect.
clients.
Yeah.
No, and
Yeah,
it honestly, you don't have to go to these big media teams to spend thousands of dollars on like media. Honestly, the best right now, my videos that are going viral are things that I'm doing with my iPhone. Send it to
Yeah.
someone on Upwork for $8, and they're getting 50,000 views. I haven't reached a 500,000 like Mina, so holy cow, that's really
It's
good. It was a great
I
video.
couldn't believe it. I
that's
was like,
amazing.
what's going? My phone kept going blink, blink every second. And I'm like, how do influencers deal with this? Because I can't. I'm like so overwhelmed. My phone's been blowing up for the past 5 days. I'm like, help, I don't know what to do. I'm like,
I,
make it stop.
I
But
take
yeah.
those notifications off.
Oh no, it's off. But when I check Instagram, it's like I have so many like I have to like follow up,
Yeah.
you know?
Hard to
And I'm
keep
like,
up. Yeah,
this is a lot
yeah.
of work.
Yeah, well, that's what I was
So
saying, right? Like I was saying in the beginning, it's another job. Like
it
doing that,
is. Oh
because
my God, it really
yeah,
is.
it ends up
Yeah.
being another job. So like
Yeah.
managing that, and then like people don't understand that if you're not getting help, right? Like Mike, I know you outsource that, right? Editing, but not every realtor is in the space to like edit it them, like to have an editor, right? They have to edit it themselves, right? Same thing on the transaction side. Like if you're doing transactions, you have to push the paperwork yourself. So there's a lot of moving parts here that all of
There
us are
is.
doing. So
There is.
I do think, yeah, we get compensated very well, but I think we get compensated in proportion to honestly the amount of work that we do. Yeah,
For sure.
100%.
yeah,
100%.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, with that being said, Mike, like, what are your thoughts on everything as far as what we talked about?
Well, I'm not Korean, and I'm in North Jersey. But I was a registered nurse, and when I was a registered nurse, I didn't realize it at the time. But I made a lot of connections back then. I was at Sinai. I was at my main hospital was New York Presbyterian Columbia. I was at NYU, Jersey City, you name it. I probably worked there, and I built so many relationships that like later on, when I became a realtor, I like a lot of people just started reaching out. So like I use social media as that platform to engage with people, let people know that, hey, I'm still doing this, because a lot of realtors, they stop posting. And then a lot of them say, like, my clients reach out to me and they say if I'm still in real estate. And that's the one thing you never want. You never want your clients to be like,
Never.
are you
You
still a
Yeah.
still do real
realtor?
estate?
Are you,
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
like I never have that problem because I'm constantly posting, constantly posting. I even post the just listers, the just close with my clients at the closing table or wherever in front of the house, because those things work for me. I get so many people DMing me after. It's like, hey, I saw that video you did or that picture, and I've had clients say like, hey, I've been waiting for the moment that you give me the Dyson and I end up on your social media. Like I've had clients tell me that nonstop. Like,
I love that.
or like I'll have people like, hey, I saw this, and one day, 3 years, I want to be in your Instagram. Like kid you not.
Right.
So there is power behind social media, posting all these
100%.
clothings, videos, all this stuff. So, and I've noticed like it's not just the just listed pictures or the fancy videos. Like sometimes it's just like a food critic video I do of a
Mhm.
restaurant or a coffee shop,
Mhm.
and that gets a whole different crowd in my following to like comment and engage with me. So it's really tapping into different outlets in social media, not just the traditional realtor life, but sometimes even just like regular day-to-day stuff or other fun things I do. Like I love posting food stuff. I love posting development. I love posting coffee shops, and that just gets so much engagement. And I started off a new Instagram called Bergen County Life, and it's already growing on its own just from all the posting and stuff. And I'm engaging with different people every day, people that are not in my network or not in my sphere. So continuing to grow my network within social media and also outside. So, and then I do a lot of events. I do like client events. I just did a photos with Santa in December, and that was a hit. I mean, I've gotten so many referrals for it, and my clients, it's a good way to just be like, hey, I appreciate you guys. I do like raffles. I give out an iPad, gave out a gift card, and people really love that. So now my next thing is doing taco night at maybe this May or June,
Mm.
and continue with the raffles and just keep a community going within your past network and future clients.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I would say that because I was actually doing some research here. I know Gary Keller teaches a concept for touches, right? 33 touches, right? That's one of the things that when I used to work at Keller Williams, that was one of the things that I embraced. My recent 2 weeks ago, I had a coaching call, and my coach asked me how many touches I have, and I just like researched it, and we kind of went through it together. I have 69 touches for every client. Yeah,
For
Whoa.
the
69.
year?
Yeah, for the year.
Wow, that's a
Yeah, 60.
lot.
Because
Good for you.
yeah, it's like so I do a postcard once a month. I do a weekly newsletter. I also have, obviously social media engagements, which I don't include, but yeah, it's like it's kind of crazy all the
Wow,
all the all
69.
the all the touches that I have. But what I realized is that for me, just like you guys, like you guys have gathered all your success from, I'm going to butcher this quote, but Bruce Lee had said it like, I fear not the man that knows 10,000 kicks, but I fear the man that knows the one kick and practiced it, whatever, 10,000 times. Pretty much it's like sharpening the axe, right? Like,
Hmm.
Mike, you went from like cold calling to door knocking to then like, you know what? This is what works best for me, right? It's social media. For me, that was the same thing with like the sphere and the centers of influence and the referrals, right? So now for me, just like Mina, like I use Client Giant too, right, Mina? So like
Love
what
it. It's the
that's part of the
best.
touches, by the way. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, I have one thing that I need to do better on, which I've been getting coaching on, was actually just loving on my clients. Like, I have
Hmm.
enough clients now, so now I should actually call them and take care of them, as opposed to trying to like look for new business when I can just work with the ones that I already have and like really love on the clients that I already have and get referrals that way. So that's how I've been reevaluating my whole entire like business model, and like really trying to love on my community and sphere in that way too. Because just like you, Mike, like I had taken pictures with Santa Claus, but because a lot of my clients are Korean, I did taking pictures with a Korean Santa Claus. Right?
Love
So yeah, so part
that.
of that is just like having fun with it and like whatever is kind of like your alley or your niche or like what you enjoy. Like Mike, you love going to the gym, so your engagement is going to, your engagement's going to be your sphere of the people who are going to your gym, right? Like Mina, I
Yeah.
know you like to really lean on your BNI, so like you're referring a lot of people in your BNI, they're referring
Yeah.
you. So you guys are doing so well you're doing so well in figuring out what your niche is and what's bringing you the dollars, what's bringing you business. But I really want to hone in for at least for the newer agents or people who are kind of struggling. What would you suggest for them? Because and just some words of encouragement because we've been through it all, right? We had to test, right? We had to play test some of these things to see if it would be a good fit. Like I did expireds, I did the Mojo Dialer, right? I did Fizbos. Mike, I even called you a couple of times on like, hey, how do I do or what the scripts like? I even asked you,
Yeah.
but like, how do you guys kind of like figure out what works as far as your business model and like at what point do you say, hey, this is what I want to do moving forward, when you're conducting business?
I think that's a good question. I think for me, honestly, I got really lucky. I did because once I started selling real estate, I was like, I don't know how to do that again. So that's when I hired Tom Ferry. So I've had a coach. I have an amazing coach right now, and the previous coach that I had, she was also really great too. But she really helped me hone. Like she really helped me realize that it's all about building relationships. So
Yep.
once I got that, I just really gave like like you're doing right now, John. Like I really made sure all my clients that I've engaged with that I don't let them slip through the cracks, right? I think I've maybe lost maybe a few clients that, I find that they bought with someone else, but it was like, their cousin or like someone that it wasn't like a random person that they bought with. It was someone that they had a relationship with. So I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that. But I think a lot of my clients, I have a lot of repeat clients that have bought, sold, bought with me. So I
Mhm.
think, that is like a huge compliment from my clients that they're willing to, buy with me, sell with me, and they really trust me, right? And
Right.
I think it's really important to it's not just about sales, it's about really caring for your clients, right? And I think once your clients really feel that way and that you're very protected in that way, I think you just the business just comes. And I think having a coach, that was really the main thing that really helped my career. It's nothing else. If I had to choose one thing, it's having a coach. Having someone that's been there in my position but has done it better than I have, and I can learn from that. And I think, like every athlete, right? They all have a coach for everything, right? And I think that's how I was an athlete growing up, so I just knew that if I want to be the best at something, I got to learn from someone that's the best. And I think coaching is really the key to my success for
Shit,
me.
Mina, you were an athlete?
Yeah, dude.
I'm just kidding.
What do you mean?
What
I'm
sports
super
did you play?
athletic, okay? Let's go. I'll kick your ass.
Oh, okay. What sports did you play growing up?
I swam. I
Oh, you
swam.
swam.
I
Okay.
swam, yeah, like nationally,
Oh,
actually.
wow. Okay. You're a swimmer and a
Yeah.
singer, right?
Yes. Super and a singer.
How about you, Mike?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, there are a lot of people who are still trying to figure it out, right, in their business. So especially for younger or people who are not as
Newer
seasoned as
agents.
realtors, right? What are some suggestions that you have for them, especially when they're trying to figure it out?
So for me, I guess it's trialing a lot different things. You have to like start off somewhere, trial out with cold calling, trial out with calling expireds. I used to call FISBOs. I used to call circle prospecting. Try the social media, try getting in front of the camera, try everything you can and see what you like. For me, it came to the realization where like I dreaded cold calling. I just didn't look forward to it. I didn't want to do it. For me, I'd rather attract business than go out and get it. I mean, we're still filming, we're still creating content, so like you're getting it in a different way. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, there's so much just to be said about a warm lead than versus someone that's cold and you're just trying to get them to go with you. It's for me, I'd rather just take the warm approach. So try out everything and see what makes you happy. Like for me, I don't mind getting in front of the camera. I don't mind filming, posting on social. I don't mind having my life out there. Some people hate that. Like some people can't get in front of the camera. Some people can't do what we're doing right now and being on a Zoom call and just talk for an hour and just, and if that makes you uncomfortable, then don't do it. Do something that you really genuinely like to do, or just get out there and start talking to people. Go to your gym, go to all these events, coffee shops, all these places where you can meet people. It's just like Mina said, it's a contact sport. Talk to people daily, and you will be successful. If you talk to 5 new people every single day, after a year, you're going to realize you're going to be you have so much business. If you
So
don't,
much business.
if you don't have business after a year or two, look back at your calendar and audit everything. Like what did you do every single week? And if you see a lot of blank spaces or like nothing that's purposeful, that's where you're messing up. You're not doing anything that's purposeful that's getting you to your goal of, so it's all context for it.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, guys, I appreciate your input. For our listeners, where can they follow you? And then also more specifically, what areas are you guys serving? I don't even know if you
Mike
mentioned
and
that,
I,
but yeah.
yeah, I mean, Mike and I, we live 10 minutes from each other. I
Mhm.
cover North Jersey, which is mostly I focus my business in Bergen and Hudson County. But I go to Passaic, Morris County. Like I'm basically North Jersey. Anywhere that's like I would drive like maybe 30 to 45 minutes, but anything further than that, it's not. I don't know those areas very well, so I refer it out. So I have a referral agent literally everywhere, all over the country, thanks to the coaching program that we're all in. So when I know that it's a little bit further out, I don't try to learn the area because again, like when I sell somewhere, I really want to truly believe in the area and know the area, right? So I can really guide my clients. If I don't know the area, I'm going to just refer it out and, so that they can best serve them. But yeah, I'm mostly in North Jersey. And you can find me on Instagram,
What's your Instagram handle?
Mina Lee X.
Nice.
Yes.
And then for me, my Instagram is Mike Wilches _ and I serve North Jersey, but then I have a team. So my sister, she covers the Jersey Shore, so we're pretty heavy on the Jersey Shore too. So it's North Jersey and the Jersey Shore.
Oh,
She's my
sick.
partner out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she's
great.
good.
She's
Yeah.
fantastic. I've sent her a few leads, secured all of them. Let's go, Michelle.
Well, guys, I just want to appreciate your time. I'll make sure I leave all your your handles in the description below, and appreciate the podcast.
And there's some other news.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah, I was
shit,
waiting for
yeah.
that.
What?
Yeah. So
I
I
thought that
want to
was a
break
big.
that down,
I
but
was
I
like,
also
wait,
want
are
to
we done?
no. So I also want to break that down, but I also think that because and again, I could probably end the podcast now. Hold on, let me end this podcast now. Hold on.
John Lee Real Estate, find you the best rate. All throughout Philly like Schuylkill Expressway. Talking to people who out of